Imagine this. You close a browser tab. Before you even think about what comes next, your fingers are already moving, hovering over the menu, clicking through to history, and wiping it clean. Every single day. It is not because you are hiding something illegal. It is not even about shame. It is something deeper, something wired into how your brain manages control in a world that feels like it is constantly watching. This is digital hygiene disorder. And if you do it every day, you are not paranoid. You are just running a different operating system than most people. Most humans treat their search history like junk mail. They know it piles up. They know it exists. But they do not care enough to delete it unless someone else is about to use their device. For them, a search history is just ambient noise, leftover data with no emotional weight. But for you, every search is a breadcrumb. Every click is a record. And the idea that it just sits there, accumulating, feels like leaving your front door unlocked while you sleep. This is not about privacy in the legal sense. It is about psychological privacy. The feeling that your mind, your curiosity, your questions, your late-night rabbit holes should not be archived and retrievable. You are not worried about hackers or the FBI. You are worried about you. You are worried about what it means that all of this is being remembered when you would rather forget. The brain does not like having a permanent record of itself. Memory is supposed to be flexible. It rewrites itself every time you recall it, smoothing over the edges, forgetting what no longer serves you. But a search history does not do that. It is fixed, immutable, a museum of your thoughts at their most unfiltered. And for someone whose brain already runs on overdrive, that feels like exposure. People who clear their history daily are often high in what psychologists call cognitive closure need. That means your brain craves finality. It wants tasks to end, loops to close, and chapters to finish. Leaving a search history untouched feels like leaving a sentence half written. It creates mental drag. Your brain keeps a tiny background process running, reminding you that something is unfinished. And the only way to shut that process down is to delete it. This is the same reason you cannot leave browser tabs open overnight. This is the same reason you sort your emails into folders, even though you will never look at them again. Your brain is not wired for clutter. It interprets digital mess as cognitive load, and it will nag you until you clean it up. But here is the glitch in the matrix. The act of clearing your history does not actually erase anything. Not really. Your ISP still has logs. Google still has records. Your operating system probably has cached files buried somewhere in a folder you will never open. So why does it feel so satisfying to delete it? Because you are not deleting data. You are deleting the illusion of surveillance. You are telling your brain, I decided what stays and what goes. I am in control here. And in a world where algorithms predict your next word and ads follow you across websites like digital ghosts, that feeling of control is rare. So you take it where you can get it, even if it is just performative, even if it changes nothing on the back end. The ritual matters more than the result. There is also an evolutionary angle here. Humans are social animals. We survived by being part of tribes, and tribes have rules. One of the most important rules was this: do not give people ammunition to use against you. In a small group, every mistake you made could be remembered. Every weird thing you said could become gossip. So we evolved to be hyper-aware of what others knew about us. We learned to manage our image. A search history is the modern version of that. It is a list of things you thought when no one was watching, questions you would never ask out loud, topics you explored but would never admit to. And even though no one is actually looking at it, your brain treats it like they could. So it triggers the same social anxiety that kept our ancestors from oversharing around the campfire. You are not just clearing data, you are clearing potential judgment. This is especially true if you grew up in a household where privacy was conditional. If your parents checked your phone, if your siblings snooped through your stuff, if you learned early that nothing you did was truly private, then your brain wired itself to assume surveillance as the default. And even now, as an adult living alone, that wiring does not just turn off. You still clear your history like someone might check it, because somewhere deep in your nervous system, someone always might. Then there is the shame spiral. Not because you are searching for anything objectively shameful, but because the internet has turned curiosity into a minefield. You search a medical symptom and suddenly you are convinced you are dying. You search a random question about social behavior and now you are wondering if you are broken. The internet does not just give you answers, it gives you new things to worry about. And if those worries live in your search history, they become a permanent record of your spiral. So you delete it, not because you did something wrong, but because seeing it there time-stamped, logged, undeniable makes it feel more real. And if you can erase it, maybe you can convince yourself it never happened. People who clear their history every day also tend to be high in what is called ambiguity intolerance. That means you do not like loose ends. You do not like gray areas. You want things to be clear, closed, decided. A search history is inherently ambiguous. It does not explain why you searched something. It does not give context. It just lists the raw query, and that leaves too much room for misinterpretation. So you delete it before anyone, including yourself, can misread it. But here is the cost. This habit trains your brain to see memory itself as a threat. It reinforces the belief that your thoughts need to be hidden, that curiosity is dangerous, that the unfiltered version of you is something that needs to be erased daily. And over time, that belief does not just apply to your browser, it applies to your life. You start editing yourself in real time. You start second-guessing what you say, what you ask, what you admit to wanting, because if even your search history is not safe, then nothing is. The irony is that the people who clear their history most obsessively are often the ones with the least to hide. You are not covering tracks. You are covering feelings. The fear that someone will see you searched something embarrassing. The fear that your curiosity will be used to define you. The fear that if anyone saw the full unedited record of your mind, they would find you lacking. So here is the takeaway. Clearing your search history every day is not about the data. It is about the ritual. It is about reclaiming a sense of control in a system designed to track you. It is about closing the loop so your brain can stop running that background anxiety process. It is about making sure that even if everything else feels chaotic, at least this one small corner of your digital life is clean. But if you find yourself doing it compulsively, ask yourself this: what am I really trying to erase? Because the answer is not in the browser. It is in the part of you that learned a long time ago that being seen fully, completely, without curation was not safe. And until you deal with that, no amount of clearing cache will ever feel like enough.